Hello again. I'm guessing that, like most viewers, I'm constantly being prompted by Microsoft to use artificial intelligence when writing anything at all, even just a simple and straightforward letter. Microsoft, of course, use an AI program called Copilot to offer me this help. I'm not averse to using technology in my writing, far from it. For example, I find spell check invaluable, and sometimes when typing fast, I don't even bother to check my spelling or stop and think how to spell a word, but I wait until I've finished a passage before allowing spell check to work its magic and tidy it up. However, I'm very quick to chase any such assistance back to what I see as its correct place, if it then tries to overreach itself. For instance, I've found it offering me synonyms and even offering draft work for me from a few prompts. Since I feel that my vocabulary is quite sufficient for my purposes, I do not welcome such interference in my work. Of course, there are those who do want to be helped, not only with their spelling and grammar and syntax, but even with the facts which they are seeking. This is a terrible idea. If I gave it half a chance, Copilot would cheerfully write all this for me. For this reason, if I get an offer to allow Copilot to draft something or even to chat with it, simply blank the thing. Why would I wish to chat with a computer program while I'm thinking and working? However, for some people, the temptation is irresistible to allow a computer to do the heavy lifting when researching, which is how the West Midlands police came to submit a report about the possibility of a riot, which contained a reference to a football match which never took place, between West Ham and an Israeli football team. The chief constable of the force was asked about this, and he swore up hill and down dale that his officers had not been using AI to put together the report, which included a reference to this fictitious match. But of course, now he suddenly remembered that they did just that, and apparently it was Copilot which came up with this football match which never happened. Misleading a select committee is a serious business because they have much the same standing as a court. When I gave evidence to a select committee some years ago, I was not invited to attend, I was summoned. If somebody ignores such a summons, it's treated as contempt of court. This is why the Home Secretary now says that she has no confidence in the Chief Constable in question, which means that the clock is ticking and it's a matter of time before he resigns. This is not the first time that AI has been in the news for this kind of thing recently. It's cropped up in judgments made by senior judges. In one recent case, the AI invented a fictitious case, which the judge cited. He didn't even notice that the case had been invented. As I say, I'm not opposed to artificial intelligence, which is certainly going to change our lives and do many people out of jobs. For instance, I'm sure that an AI program would have not the least difficulty in knocking out westerns, which are at least as good as those I write. My style is distinctive enough to be easily copied, and I strongly suspect that a decent program could put together something very similar in quality and style to the books which I write. However, that may be the case with fiction. I take leave to doubt if the same trick could be performed with my non-fiction books. This is because the concepts which I juggle around and the connections which I make are pretty idiosyncratic, and I do not think that a computer could manage them. As for using it to write reports on a potential riot or judicial opinions on complex cases, the very idea is mad. I think that people become hypnotized sometimes into using something merely because it is new and exciting, and they wish to be ahead of the curve, as the saying is. Besides, we're all so busy these days, it must surely speed things up a little. When the judiciary and police start relying upon computer programs, though, rather than their own judgment and common sense, I think we need to stop and think what's happening. Before you know it, we should be allowing such a program to decide innocence or guilt, or even perhaps to predict in advance who is likely to commit a murder. Anybody remember Minority Report? Coming soon to this country if we're not careful.